Hello, 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 fellow Nigerians. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining me from. This is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. I want to say thank you very much for joining me this time. I don't know, what you think about what's going on in Nigeria, but I'm telling you, Nigeria is like in an ICU and needs urgent attention. A lot is happening under Tinubu's watch. We know he said Emilokon. He did everything that he knew to do to force himself on Nigerians. The whole idea of the Muslim ticket, even though I'm from Kaduna State, I'm from the north, but I'm telling you, we also didn't support it because it was the same thing that, did, El Rufai did, Muslim ticket in Kaduna State, our state, and we knew what happened, what the suffering that we encountered, even though it was Muslim ticket, the killings that happened in Kaduna, especially the southern part of the state. It became like a war zone, but a one-sided war where people were just being killed in cold blood, and hundreds would die. And then when the people get tired of being murdered and killed, and they get up to defend themselves, then they are arrested. But when the terrorists, or let me say the invaders, that's Boko Haram or whatever they are called, when they come in there, they kill, and we don't see the law enforcement agencies, but the law enforcement agencies always come after so many people have lost their lives. And so it was the same thing during the 2023 presidential election. And you know that El Rufai was closely working together with Tinubu. He gave him the idea of Muslim ticket because they had the group of northern governors that teamed up together saying that power must shift to the south. But the plan was actually to install Tinubu and get Shetima as his vice, and then two of them would be Muslims. People fought against it, but they forced it through, and they actually told Tinubu that if you don't allow it, if you don't take a Muslim as your running mate, the North will not vote for you, because traditionally it's always believed that if you don't get votes from the Northerners, you can never be president. And the numbers have been inflated, the number of states inflated, and the census and the population inflated, and they use all that, leverage that to stay in power for as long as they want. And so sad, people from the south, especially the southwest, have always been used by the hardcore far northerners to achieve this dream. And so the whole thing about the North producing a vice president in the name of Shetima to bring the fulfillment of the Muslim agenda was what they actually planned to take over, to stay in power. The whole thing about Fulanis remaining in power was the key vision, was the key dream, was the agenda. And so lately, I know many of you are aware of what Sheikh Gumi said, and I think another sheikh from Sokoto. They came out and they were preaching and telling their people that they must not accept this whole idea of having a Christian in Abuja or in the FCT, that is Wike. I'm not a fan of Wike. I mean, many of you are aware or familiar with what I've always said. We will not be where we are today as a nation if people like Wike were not allowed to be used as instruments in the hands of APC, even though he belonged to PDP, so-called PDP. He said he's a PDP member, but he worked against his own party, worked against also the one who was the presidential candidate, and that is Atiku. And so we would not have been where we are today if not for that. And so I think because of the dirty work that Wike did for Tinubu. Tinubu had to reward him, and he needed to reward him with something that is, he considered to be, a very tough place, since Wike is considered to be that tough performing governor. So they put him in the FCT to do the work there. And also, I've been feeling that one of the reasons why they put him there is so that in case there's any rerun, if the election is cancelled and there's a rerun, Wike would do whatever he has done, whatever he did in Rivers State, he can replicate that at the Capital Territory, that's FCT. And so now they are all angry. The same people that advocated Muslim ticket because they don't want an infidel to rule. People were saying, no, why would you do that? They went ahead, and you've forgotten what they did with the fake bishops. Went and hired people from the street, paid them money, bribed them to dress like bishops for the unveiling of the person who was going to be Tinubu's running mate, and that was Shetima. So, I mean, there are so many things have happened that should have been a pointer, should have, created an alert in every Nigerian to know that there's something sinister, there's something there's something that we need to suspect about. What are they up to? Why would it, in the history of Nigeria, it's never happened where the people that, the president and the vice in the State House, in Aso Rock, are all of the same religion. See, even in Abuja, when they were going to build corporate places of worship, they had to build one for the Christians and one for the Muslim. Because Nigeria is a plural society, multi-religious society, where people are either Muslims or Christians or enemies. So people had the right. It's like you have the freedom of choice of which religion you want to belong to. So now, but because these people believe that they own Nigeria, and especially in the north, I from Kaduna State, we have been lied to so many years. We've been told to have nothing to do with Southerners, especially if they are in Nyamiri. That means if they are Igbos from the east. Because those people are traitors, those people want to take Nigeria away and then take all the oil and all the natural resources that Nigeria is endowed with. That's the narrative, that's the lie we've been told for so many years. And they kept lying to us and telling us that it's a North versus South fight, and that we as Northerners must defend our region. But not knowing that this lie was just to perpetuate or to propagate the Fulani agenda. Do you know that all the killings in Sokoto, in Zamfara, and the ones in the northern states, look at what's been happening in Maiduguri, the entire Borno state, and what people have suffered. Most of them that have been casualties are even Muslims. So it's not really, they use religion as a face, but in reality, the whole fight is to enforce the agenda of the Fulanis. Fulanis actually came and invaded Nigeria. They are not indigenes. And then now, Sheikh Gumi is telling Tinubu that unless he removes Wike from being the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and that there will be no peace, because they believe that Abuja belongs to the Muslim. In fact, they're referring to other Nigerians as infidels. Kafiri is like they are dirty, too dirty to be the ones that should sit in the seat of leading the Federal Capital as a minister. And they said, since the Federal Capital started, have you seen anybody appointed as minister that is not a Muslim? Because they believe that it belongs to the Muslim. But they're actually not talking about Muslim alone, but they're talking about it must be Fulanis. They're referring to what El Rufai did, and El Rufai is a Fulani. And most of the ones that have been there have been Fulanis. So you are seeing, and I'm so happy that the Hausas are rising up. the houses, some of them are, most of them are Muslims, and a few are Christians, and some even belong to it's like they have like in between. I also talk about the Kanuris, the Bacham, and all the others. And so the thing is about when you hear people like Gumi talk, they are doing everything to make sure they defend the Fulani group. Because the whole thing about Usman Danfodio, they still want to establish it. When you hear them talk all these things, they want to use it, use religion, talk about the jihad, and then take over. But let me tell you, as somebody from Kaduna State, they are talking about Abuja belongs to them. But let me tell you, the real people that own Abuja, have you forgotten that Abuja was not owned, it was not a Fulani settlement? It did not belong to the Fulani. In fact, not even the Hausas. I am from the Koro tribe. And let me tell you some of the tribes that were in the Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. And that is, we've got the Bagi, these women that carry load on their backs. And there's others call them, we used to call them Gwari. The Bassa, the Gwandara. Then we've got the Gade, we've got the Dibo, we've got the Egbura, we've got the Nupe, we've got the Koro. The Koro, that's the group, the tribe that I belong to. So we own the capital territory. We are the ones that are supposed to be talking about that place belong to us. But from the time it was declared as the federal capital, it became no man's land. It became every man's land. No particular tribe, no particular group, no particular religion can lay claim over Abuja. So if we're to even talk about the initial dwellers or the people that were indigenes, we should talk about these other groups, the Bagis. We should talk about the Dibo, talk about the Gade, talk about the Egbura, talk about the Nupe and the Koro, talk about the Bagis. But these people are quiet. They've been chased out of or let me say they've been resettled. And today, you've got the Yorubas, you've got the Igbos, you've got the Hausas, you've got the Fulanis, you've got all other groups from all over Nigeria, because Abuja is for all. And that is the main reason, that is one of the reasons why this whole idea of having that you must, anybody that's going to be president must win at least 25%. So to show that every part of Nigeria are in support of the person who is going to be president. Because we have people getting regional block votes. But coming to Abuja, that was the reason why the ones that wrote the constitution put the idea of 25%. Because if not, why should they single out and say an Abuja or the federal capital? So that's the whole reason. So hearing people like Gumi coming out and talking, please don't listen to this man. He is an opportunist. He's a chance taker. He's a Fulani that wants to take over Nigeria. That's what they have been doing with the Fulani headsmen. They want to take over Nigeria. That was the agenda that Buhari came to fulfill. And he failed. Many of them have been trying it and they have been failing. And this time around, they're going to fail. I know that Tinubu is sitting on a time bomb. I know that Tinubu is sitting with a stolen mandate, and I know he was not duly elected. He's not supposed to be in Aso Rock. But on this matter, I would tell you, maybe God allowed Tinubu to put wicked there so that we can see the wicked heart that is in these people like Gumi. How can somebody come and use religion and then tell us it belongs to the Northerners? Which Northerners are you talking about? I am from the North. But you know what you have done to our people? The Hausas have suffered in your hands. The small time you come and use religion. And there, they were talking about himself and this other sheikh coming and threatening people. Threatening the president. Threatening Wike and saying that because there will be no peace. And they are confusing it with what is going on between Israel and the Hamas. What has that got to do? I know what's happening there is wrong. We know people, innocent people are dying. But I want to ask you people, do you know that in Kaduna State, more people have been killed by the Fulani headsmen, by these terrorists in Nigeria, more than what has happened since the war started, or since the unrest, since the fight began, and the invasion of Israel that was done by these terrorists, and then now it's becoming a regional war. And so, do you know in Kaduna State, in Plateau State, in Borno State, in Sokoto State, in Zamfara State, in Yobe State, Bauchi, I can go on and on, Benue, how many people have lost their lives? Thousands upon thousands. But have you heard Gumi talk? Have you heard Sheikh Sokoto talk? Have you heard many of the Muslim clerics talk? They've not said anything. Now they have the dirty mouth to come out and be using religion. And somebody telling us that Abuja belongs to the Northerners. Which Northerners? These wicked, evil people that are called Fulanis, that are not originally Nigerians. And their agenda is to fight and take over, kill and kill and kill, until they actually want to make sure that they kill everybody from north to south that is not Fulani, so that they can take over. So don't be carried away, don't be deceived by what people like Sheikh Gumi are saying. Because even some Muslims are against what they are saying, because they are fighting for their own tribe, the Fulani tribe. Many of you that are from the south, you always see all of us and think we are all Fulanis, Hausa Fulani. But there are different groups, there are different tribes suffering in the hands of these wicked Fulanis. And the time has come, we must expose them. They are the same ones that came up with the idea of the Muslim ticket to force it on Nigeria. They are the ones, people like Mahmoud Yakubu, you know what tribe they are? Most of them that have been suppressing Nigeria is one tribe. Fulanis. Let's team up against them. And I'm saying, Nigerians, this is the time to say enough is enough. We have suffered in the hands of these people. I just felt I needed to come out as a northerner to tell you, don't listen to what Tinubu, don't listen to, I've talked so much about Tinubu, and instead of talking about what Gumi is saying, I'm saying Tinubu. But as I'm telling you, don't listen to any threat from any so-called Muslim cleric. They are fighting for themselves. It's an evil agenda. Nigeria is one. Abuja belongs to all. The Fulanis are not the owners of Abuja. They should go back to where they came from. They are invaders. Go and see how they are killing Hausas in Sokoto, and they take over their farms. The whole thing about Fulanis is invasion and occupation. They want to invade and occupy until Nigeria becomes a Fulani colony. But they have failed and they will never succeed. I just had to do this to let you know we Northerners are not in support of what Gumi said. He's speaking on behalf of Fulanis, not even all Muslims. It's a lie. And Nigeria will continue as one. Very soon, we're reclaiming this stolen mandate from Tinubu, and they can do nothing about it. The idea and the whole scheme, secret plan of bringing Muslim ticket, that's why they are frustrated. It's not working. Now they are frustrated. They are saying, they tricked us. We even the young people were not happy with our supporting this whole thing about Muslim ticket, but we had to do it because we knew they are coming to uphold Islam. They are coming to defend Islam, and all the others are infidels. So now we have caught them, that their secret is exposed. It is time. Nigerians, we must take a stand. Let's unite against these few people that want us to be destroyed. We won't take it anymore. Nigeria belongs to all. Abuja belongs to every Nigerian. Go and see everywhere. Every tribe is represented. And somebody is coming and telling me it belongs to the Northerners. No. Go back to where you're coming from. The Fulanis, liars, cheats, people that have no heart. All they're thinking about is killing and killing and killing. And see where we are today because of what evil people like Mahmoud Yakubu did. And a selfish man like Tinubu, because he's so greedy, so selfish, he agreed to the idea of Muslim ticket. See what you have brought to us. But very soon, Tinubu, you are leaving that seat. A stolen mandate will be restored. You think you are smart. You think money is everything. But God will show to you that power belongs to him. One Nigeria, one God, one people. Nobody can stop the plan of God concerning Nigeria. I am determined as a northerner, I'm going to stand for truth. We are tired of being brainwashed. We are tired of being lied to, using religion, using tribalism, using sectionalism, North versus South. Enough is enough. One Nigeria, and we're going to stand and build it. Those that don't want Nigeria to remain one, we are not going to divide. They must leave. They are the ones who must chase out. But the rest of us will unite and build one strong nation. I know I didn't, I just jumped into the broadcast, did not tell you to share it, but please feel free. Go ahead and share the broadcast with as many people as you can. Let me know where you watch me from. I'm coming again. I need to talk about what's happening in the Supreme Court, but I'll do that later, maybe tomorrow. This broadcast that I'm doing should have been yesterday or some time ago, but I had to I've been so busy. I made time now to just do it. I want to say thank you for watching. Go ahead and share the broadcast with as many people as you can. And go ahead and also subscribe to my channel on YouTube if you've not already done so. And follow me on Facebook if you've not done so. Like this broadcast, by so doing, it will be recommended to many more people. I want to celebrate you and say thank you very, very much. Let me know where you're watching me from, even if it's after the broadcast. Thank you, thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Once again, this is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. Bye-bye for now.